Good morning. Welcome back to Shadow Phoenix Tarot Integration and Healing channel. Yesterday I did a pick a card for Friday, which I normally do. And one of the cards, the middle one, which was I think the amethyst, came up for anxiety. And I had felt really powerfully that energy of anxiety that a lot of you guys were experiencing. I had a couple of people PM me privately, and that really caught my attention. And I know that there were just a lot of energy and activity around that anxiety reading. So part of what I wanted to do was come back and do a secondary reading to help heal the anxiety and address it. So I'm going to just create some time and space for us to talk about that, let that come forward, get some love and attention, and take what you like and leave the rest. We're going to use some tarot and oracle. We'll also do some other things. And the great thing about YouTube channels is that you can replay the video as much as you'd like. And if you find something in here that resonates with you, like I'd really like to do some sort of a talk meditation that you can replay when you have anxiety and see if that might help. You have it to use as much or as little as you'd like. So this also ties in with the purpose of the channel, and a lot of my work is around the shadow, and anxiety is definitely one of those shadows.
I see you.
No, right now Mommy's doing a video. I do
you.
have my kids at home, so this may be kind of an interesting experiment here. Okay, you go play, please.
Can I see?
Okay, can you come ring my bell?
What?
Come ring my bell. So one of the things that we can do is anchor ourselves. Pick it up at the top. There we go. Yeah. And sound and vibration helps. So if you can even get these at Dollar Tree, if you have a bell hanging around, yeah, go ahead and ring it. It helps clear energy. It can help move the vibration around. For people that really get into it, you can use tuning forks. If it's just you alone, you can clap. A good strong clap. There you go. Will bring you back into the present moment. Bring you back into, nope. Okay, no, you're not going to be on video. Nope, I need you to go now.
Awesome.
Okay, you can see it afterwards. Go watch, brother. Go, please.
I have it down.
No. Okay, ring it one last time and then you're going to go. Ring it one last time. There we go. There we go. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, baby. I love you. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay. So the great thing about clapping is that you have it at any moment, and a good hard clap can get your energy moving. It can move your body, bring you back into your body. I know that a lot of anxiety, you get into your head. We get into our thoughts, we get into the past, the present, the future, what can go wrong. And when we come back to this present moment, we can give ourselves space to say, right now, I'm okay. And we can anchor ourselves to the well-being that we do currently have in that moment. Clapping, sound therapy, music, if you like music. Also, music can lead to dancing. Music can lead to happiness, joyfulness, moving your body, again, being back into your body. So those are some of the things that you can do right now and wherever you are. The thing I really like about tools that we carry with us is that we are the instrument, we are the message, we are the channel. And so I really like to empower people that you can have as much ritual as you enjoy, but you don't have to have any. Your intuition's always with you, and you can always create the change you need with yourself, even if you don't have any accoutrements with you. You don't have to have cards or bells or your pendulum or whatever it is that you use. You are empowered to create change for yourself in every moment. Clapping, singing, laughing, whatever. You can just change your breathing. One of the things that we can do is a breath exercise where you breathe in deeply for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, and breathe out for 8. And that looks like this. That was shallow. In. That's shallow. Hold. So when you do that correctly a couple of times, maybe even 4 times, you breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, and breathe out for a count of 8. I want to say I saw that on an episode of Oprah's in the 90s or something, but that will help you regulate your parasympathetic nervous system. Not really sure. Anyways, we can affect our body and how we feel. We can affect our thoughts and our emotions, and we have control of that in every moment. I have a couple, my two best BFFs of 25 years. Both struggled a lot with anxiety, like panic attack level anxiety. I've gone through a little bit myself, not nearly as bad as they have, but I know when those panic attacks come, you lose control of your body to a certain extent. You feel out of control. And if you can catch it early and you can just continue to bring yourself back to a baseline where you feel good, you feel your well-being, you can help ward off those things, or you can mitigate them so they're not as severe, or again, maybe even lessen the intensity or the duration or the frequency that they occur. I am a big proponent of medication for people that need them. I also recognize the fact that medicine has the ceiling on its effectiveness, and there's only so much that it can do. And at a certain point in time, we do need to go back to our own control of our behavior, our thoughts, using our body, spirituality, and different options. So my information is always that we have as many tools as possible from varied places as possible. It's like a spider's web. The more points of contact that spider has to anchor it, the better, the stronger that web is going to be. And so when we're working with shadow work, if we're working with growth, always having as many resources as possible, developing new resources and tools for ourselves if we feel like we don't have enough, is a really important part of the work. So we talked about the sound therapy. If anybody likes crystals or gems or stones, you can carry those with you. I have pink and green this morning for your heart center. Green is for your self-love, I don't know what number it is, but your heart chakra. And then pink is for the self-love, and a lot of inner child work resides here. So everything here in this area of your body with your chakra system could be loved and held space for. So if you work with crystals, you're going to already understand the power that they have. If you don't, you might want to try. Also, just tangible things. I really feel for me a lot like wearing special jewelry helps. I have a lot of necklaces or bracelets or rings that either have symbols on them that are reassuring to me and comforting, or their use or their memories, or the intention that I wear them with, whatever will really help. And it's something that I have with me on my body, which really helps. And then it always brings me back again to the here and now where I can experience well-being. Sometimes you can pick a pebble up and dedicate a stone for gratitude or serenity or groundedness, or a worry stone that you can put worries into so that they are going from your body and energy into something else. Mother Earth is always welcoming to us to carry our anxieties. Anything that no longer serves us, we can give to her, and she is absolutely welcoming that energy. It's not too heavy for her. She will gladly accept it and recycle it into something new. Another practice that I've done at difficult times, especially if I had a lot of grief, was I've lived sometimes in more rural areas where they have gravel roads, and so there's like a plethora of rocks everywhere. But you can easily find a rock wherever you are. Is at the end of the day, go somewhere and pick out a rock, hold it, and put everything from your day into it, just as a form of letting go and releasing whatever grief, even things that you're happy and grateful for, just as a way of clearing your space and your energy, and just put it all into there. And I lived in an area where I could just throw it as hard as I could and just give it back to Mother Earth, give it back to the universe. You may or may not be in a neighborhood where you can do that. Okay, so that was kind of some of the practical things I have. I do want to do a meditation at some point, but right now I would like to do some card readings. I do have a pendulum here, so if we need to channel anything, we can. But right now, guides, I would like to have healing and remedies for anxiety. If you have any messages to help heal anxiety, please come forward. And let's see what we get. Okay. I have two. Devotion, and the guide for that is Nature Spirits. That's card number 44. And we have Restriction, led by Joy Guides, and that's 28. Oh my goodness, I love this. Okay. And my God, is this not such a great visual for anxiety? I mean, that's how I feel with it. I really feel like when I have encountered anxiety, and you may or may not have the same experience, but I have a hard time giving myself permission to let go. And that compulsive worrying where you're kind of fixated, I feel compelled to do it, which of course is, the compulsive part of it. But giving myself permission to step away, because I feel like who's going to keep this ball rolling if I stop worrying about it? And that it definitely is like a shackle. It definitely has this energy that I'm stuck to it, I'm committed, and I really need to do it. And it's in our own heads to a large degree. Now, that's not to say that some of us aren't experiencing really serious events in our world. I know if people get sick, if people lose their jobs, if people go through divorce, there's some really serious things out there. And that brings me back to, I don't know where the saying comes from, but pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Misery is optional. Everybody experiences difficult times, but the punishment that we give ourselves or that we allow ourselves to go through is optional. We can't experience a clean pain, a clean grief. And again, that doesn't mean it's not heavy, but the anxiety, that extra weight of carrying these things can be really difficult. So, and these are joy guides. We talked before, joy guides have come forward before to do readings with me. Joy guides are here to help remedy pain for us, remedy pain, sickness, illness, trouble, suffering, burdens. And so if you have a restriction, and I would say definitely that anxiety is a restriction of joy, restriction of playfulness, a restriction of a feeling of lightness, of well-being, of being in the same channel and alignment with your center. And the joy guides can bring back, you're rigid. You get rigid when you're in anxiety. You're in these really fixed modes, fixed way of thinking, fixed way of feelings. Joy brings back that flexibility, that fluidity, the resilience, where you can bounce back, where you have spring in your step. Anxiety is like dropping a rock on something and it just goes whack. It just squishes it. Joy guides help give you that resilience where if something drops on you, you have a little bit of movement where it doesn't squish you. You still have margin. You can still breathe. You can still aerate and expand. You can still experience fluidity. Okay? And remember, these joy guides, I really like that they're kind of like angelic cherub type things. They're actual beings that are here to help us. So definitely call on your guides, whoever that is for you. Call on your guides to help you because they are able, they are willing, they are present to do that. And devotion is the other one. To me, this is the devotion to ourselves and the devotion to well-being, to the abundance and the the beauty of the world. Mama. Okay, you want to ring it one more time?
Yeah.
Go ahead and ring it. There we go. Okay. Put it down. So put it down. Oh, you're going to put it down there? Good. Okay, thank you. Go back to playing, please. That's a little joy guide. So, if you have children or if you sometimes children can increase feelings of stress and tension. Sometimes they can alleviate it depending on your perspective. Do what works for you. The devotion here is that devotion to well-being and abundance and feeling beautiful, having beauty, seeing beauty, just being devoted to the goodness that is in the world. Even when we are anxious, if we can bring ourselves back to things that are going well, usually at least there's a couple. Again, sometimes depending on the legitimate severity of your situation, it could feel like there's not a lot. And that will be, again, different for everybody. But if you can make a list of what's going right, if you can, and sit down and write it with pen and paper. If you can make a gratitude list as often and as frequently and as long as you need to, come back to what's doing good and have, instead of the devotion to worry, have that devotion to well-being. And nature spirits, nature guides are great for this because every day the sun's going to rise. Every day the trees are going to grow. Every year we're going to have a harvest. Every night we're going to have a time of rest. Every morning we're going to have a beautiful dawn. So count on nature for that stability and know that you are a part of nature. We are not separate. I know that anxiety, as the shadow side, really deals a lot with security, feeling of being taken care of and of provision. And we are able to tap into being part of the nature, the whole ecosystem of the world, and that we are cared for. Sometimes with different situations that can feel cut off, that can feel like that's not the most true, real thing about us. But definitely take time to come back to that and again, create devotion, whatever that looks like for you. Commit, make that commitment to come back to your well-being as much as you can, as often as you can. And even if it's just 1 minute, in this card, I don't know if you can see, but the little guy in his head is actually in a cage, like behind bars. This is the freedom is real, the imprisonment is not. So come back to the part of you that's free. This is the Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen Farmer. I just got these, they're new, and especially after the Nature Spirits reads. Okay, here's one. I'd really like to see what kind of really gentle, helpful things can come forward to give us practical ideas or just spiritual comfort, emotional comfort during this time. Okay. Any nature spirits that would like to give us a message or some direction on how to work with healing anxiety, bringing peace into our lives. So one thing that we can do is change the words that we use. You want to play with pizza? Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're going to play at the table? Excuse me. Okay, let me get pizza down for you.
Yes, Mommy.
Okay. Carry this over. Ready? Take it over. All right. The YouTube studio is in the playroom, just so you know. Changing the verbiage and words that we use to talk about how we feel in the anxiety. Anxiety, if we use the word anxiety, brings immediately to mind that worry, that tension, that stress, that really suppressed feeling, so oppressive. So one of the things we can do is use positive words, use better words and terminology. So we might say that, again, to use what we have already touched on, is that we're getting in touch with our joy. We're moving into more joy. I'm feeling a restriction in my joy. Even if you say that you're feeling lack of restriction, again, that's not necessarily optimal, but it's better. It's better to say, I'm feeling restricted in my joy, rather than, oh my God, I'm so anxious. Can you feel the difference in that? Because if you say, I'm feeling a restriction in my joy, you're at least identifying where you want to be and that you do have joy and that is your point of reference. And so that is so much easier to say now, I'm feeling uplifted in my joy. I'm feeling an increase of joy. I'm feeling more buoyant in my joy. You can say, I am experiencing devotion to nature. I'm experiencing devotion to being in alignment with my abundance. I'm, what other words can we use? Oh, okay, let's do these two. No, wait a minute. Okay, it's 3, 4. Okay. So find out some words like, if you feel anxious, what is it that you would like to be? Would you like to be happier, lighter? Would you like to be calmer? Pick your own words. Absolutely be empowered to do that. I'm just trying to give ideas to get you thinking. Again, from a neurological standpoint, when we become upset, we go into the brainstem part of our brain, and we are our creativeness, our problem solving, everything is shut down, and we're just in flight or fight mode, to use the old terminology. And so sometimes we're so fixated on the energy that we've been in and the storylines that we've been rehearsing in our mind that we don't even have a vocabulary, frankly. And if you have anxiety, you're probably depressed, or you might be depressed to a certain extent. I feel like those two things commonly go together, which again is another thing that deactivates you and just suppresses your energy. So I really want to give you ideas, but in no way is this like what I think you should do or the only way that it can be done. So again, the first card that came forward was music, harmony. I'm not a big music person traditionally, and I was married to, and I've had a couple of like roommates and really good girlfriends who love music. Oh my gosh. And they have, at 40 years old, I have finally been converted to understand the power of music. If you're playing music that brings you down, even if you feel like, oh, I am identifying with it, you might consider changing it to something different. There are tracks that have spoken words that can be really enlightening. You can also play meditation, like guided visualizations that are like have spoken language that can help build images and pictures, which are calming or soothing for you, or provide you are energizing for you or give you inspiration. The other thing is just the frequency themselves. So I know on YouTube they have 428 megahertz and the 700 whatever. So you can look at like the actual frequency of the music. I know YouTube has a lot of different stuff, and I do that a lot. So you can pick one that'll work for you, and it'll just be like more of a vibration. It's just kind of a tone that plays. Also the beat. If you need a soothing beat to help de-escalate you, you can pick, jazz or some sort of new age music or meditation music, yoga music. If you need a bigger beat because you feel depressed and sad and lethargic and you need to get your energy up, pick something with a good dance beat or something that gets your toe tapping. 60s, 70s music like R&B, or, even dance music, rave music, electronic dance music, whatever. Okay, so these four came out together, but I'm not going to tackle them all at once. We have ancestors. Ancestors, the generations. So see that snake winding through each hand? Your ancestors are guides. And your ancestors have love for you no matter where they are in time, space, or eternity. And always you can rely on their love for you. And the other great thing about, I don't want to say great thing, it maybe sounds weird, but the benefit about connecting with family members who have passed on to the other side is that all of that drama and storyline from the 3D world goes away when they're pure spirit again. And we can interact with them in that pure love energy that some of us, depending on the relationship, may not have been able to do while on Earth. So if you have grandparents, known or unknown, you can get to know anybody. We all have a lot of ancestors. And also focusing on maybe your goals. If you have generations that follow, if you have children, grandchildren, think about them. Think about what you want to help create for them, the vibration that you want them to live at, and help lift that. Help walk down that path and create the path for them and get that path really well worn, very well tread for them to follow your footsteps. And sometimes for me that provides the inspiration and hope. Not sometimes, that has been the main reason for a lot of my growth is my two kids. And so access that if you need to. I hope you can hear me over the pizza making behind us. Tree and groundedness. Again, a great one. Tree and groundedness at this point. With those nature spirits, if there is a tree, whatever you connect with in nature for that groundedness, and getting your feet in the dirt, playing in the dirt, planting, potting, weeding, gardening, hugging trees, sitting by trees, sitting underneath the canopy, whatever helps you. But definitely that rootedness, again, because we are in our head, sometimes we're really activated in our third eye or our crown chakra or root chakra. We need to move our energy down towards our yellow, orange, red chakras, move our energy down and towards the earth to release, definitely to release, but also to bring up that sustenance that Mother Earth sustains us with, that loving energy, because we're connected both to the material world from underneath us with our chakras, and we're connected from our crown chakra to the spirit. And so we're like hybrids because we are connected to both worlds. And so we can access the love and sustenance and beauty and provision and abundance of both areas. We can go get everything we need from Spirit. We can also go and get everything we need from Mother Earth. So whatever works for you in that moment, do that. As Americans, we tend to be much more intellectual, and so this is usually very active. We usually have a lot of our gifts and skills there. Usually we have to learn how to move downward and interact with the earth to both give and receive. So give that some thought and follow that. Oh, here's another one. Autumnal equinox release. So at the end of summer, we have in time, autumn coming up. And then also the message, the lesson that autumn holds for us is release, letting it go. Sometimes I have had a massive amount of anxiety because I'm trying to keep together something that is meant to fall apart. It is falling apart. And in my denial, I'm trying to like scrounge and bring together and like hold together this mass that's disintegrating as I'm holding it and trying to keep it together. Talk about fighting cycles and fighting what is. And that causes massive anxiety, frustration, being short-tempered, being irritable. It's time to let go. Anxiety is signaling to you that you need to let go of something. That something will be different for a lot of us. For most of us, for all of us, it will be different. But it is time to let go. And that letting go is going to come with freedom, and it's also going to open up space for you to receive something that you're currently not receiving, which you need, and that has been acting as a block to the energy. If you want to move somewhere, if you want to move forward, if you're wanting or needing something, whatever it is you're holding on to is blocking that space for somebody, for some new energy, for some new thing to come into your life or to be manifest or whatever. And remember, fall is like a beautiful, peaceful time. It's not about like this huge catastrophic death and the grief. Like it's not this big weeping and wailing. We create more sorrow and suffering for ourselves through trying to hold on than just allowing it to just slip away. It's like, let it slip away. You don't have to shove it. You don't have to reject it. You don't have to force it out. Let it slip away. And when it slips away, just say goodbye, honor it, thank it for coming, thank it for leaving, thank it for the role that it played in your life, and allow it to slip away, knowing that you're creating a great empty palette for some other new thing on your canvas to come and be painted in. You never have a release without having a new start. You never have a release without having cleansing, without having rejuvenation. Cleansing and rejuvenation is what I said. He hit that block at the same time I was talking. Cave sanctuary. I personally have been really feeling this energy about just coming home and kind of holing up a little bit. Not completely isolating, but sanctuary is such a great word because it's our space, it's our own personal space, and it's a sacred and private space where we can do sacred work with ourselves, with our family, with all that is. Sorry about that. It's okay. So he's painting on the cave wall, and he is doing the work of creating in his sacred space. This caveman, sorry to use the word caveman, but he's in a caveman. He is using this sacred space to create from his spiritual vision. Okay, don't knock it over anymore, though, okay, because that's getting kind of loud, please. So, definitely draw back. Sanctuary doesn't necessarily, to me, it's home. Sanctuary can be your cave in nature. It could be your cave at your religion. No more of that. Okay, no more. It can be your religious institution. It could be any kind of area where you have your soul tribe or your family, your friends. So it's not any particular location. It's your location of sanctuary and freedom and rest and rejuvenation where you can connect with whoever and whatever you need to connect with. Ancestors might be a part of this, as well as music and harmony. And the lesson about harmony to me is those vibrations, and harmonies are when they're in sync together. And anxiety is very much about being out of sync with what is and what's happening, because well-being is what's true. Well-being is what's true and concrete and real for all of us. And the anxiety feels bad because it's out of sync with the well-being that is. And so harmony will bring us back together with our well-being, and we're going to harmonize with it. We're going to be like in conjunction, working in conjunction and cooperation. We're going to be on the same frequency, on the same wavelength. So within cave, ancestors and music may also play a part in this sacred space for you. Okay. Let me see what else. Let's do maybe one more card. This is The Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid, R-E-I-D. So if we have anything for enhancing well-being, getting grounded, release, letting go, any more messages from Spirit on our serenity, on our peacefulness, our peace of mind, increasing our love and increasing our flexibility and our resilience. The first time I've read with these, so I don't know how they work. They slip really nicely. They don't stick together. When they stick together, it can be so hard. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the deck and then pull a couple. Okay, well, if you want to speak up, that's fine too. Here's 4 of them. Number 52, this is mending. I really love this energy. Put it back together. That's what I feel. Mend it. Bring it back together. There's a time for mending. There's a season for that. And when we let go, this is to me the other flip side of the coin of the letting go. We can mend things that are broken. If we are fixated too much in our heads, we may be underactive in a practical sense in our life. And some things may have become, gone into disrepair or just needing maintenance and just to be kept on. That can be spiritual, it can be relationships, can be work, home life, little piddly errands. I know sometimes if I'm not connected to my well-being, I can let the chore slide. That creates very negative, intense pressure for me because I feel like the house is falling down around my ears. So if there's some mending that you want to do, pick the smallest, easiest task you can do and start there. And as you feel better and you feel lighter from having your space cleared of tasks or things that are like on your mind and you know that you need to get to, like just having that to-do list can be so stressful. Just start easy. Start easy. When I'm in times of, again, really feeling not connected to my well-being, if I get up every morning and do the dishes or vacuum or scrub the toilet, like whatever's my easiest house chore, no matter what happens that day, I can say, I clean the house. I clean the house. And that feels great. Breathe. This is number 29. I don't know if you can see this. She's in a meditative state. She's breathing. I personally have a really hard time when people tell me, just breathe. Like, first of all, as if that's even not an option. Okay. And second of all, you reminding me of that is not going to help me breathe because I already do it on my own. And third, I feel it's some of the most devaluing, like invalidating things that you can say. Like, well, if my problems could be solved by breathing, I would have already solved them by breathing. So thank you for that great advice. So that's just my personal rant. I'm not going to ever tell you to breathe, except for the breath exercises, which is you are controlling your breathing to bring you back to a different state of mind. So all that goes to say that the Wisdom of the Oracle is encouraging you to breathe. The energy that I think people are trying to say when they say breathe is to create some emotional margin in your response. When we get heightened, when we get caught in these negative loops, we don't breathe. We breathe shallowly. Again, like this shallow, heightened, like adrenaline. We get adrenal fatigue, like, oh. And if we take a deep breath and breathe it out, It's not that we're breathing. It's
eating now.
You're eating now?
That you do.
I'm not going to eat now because I'm still doing my video, okay?
Okay.
And when you're doing your breathing like that, you are providing space between your stimulus and the response. Even if that stimulus is the negative loop going on in your head, taking that deep breath and creating space. It's not about the breathing. Creating that space so that you have that margin. An emergency situation that's really happening in time, like real time and in front of you, or if it's just something in your head, drawing out the breath, drawing out the exhalation, drawing out that response time will create margin in between these things where you can begin to expand. You can begin to expand your spirit. You can begin to expand your awareness. You can begin to expand, and we talked about, again, that letting go. In that space where you let go, spirit can now come in with solutions, can come in to help you raise your vibration, can come in to help you not be reactive. So it's not the breathing that's the trick. It's the creating space for yourself. And the great thing about breathing, in every breath, we can be creating more space for ourselves as a lifestyle. Just that pause. One of the tricks I did when my kids were babies, especially small infants, is I would breathe really heavily and really like that, pretending I'm asleep breathing. And when they were on my chest, they would feel that. They would feel me relax. They would feel that shallow, deep breathing, that exhalation, that release in my body. And then they would pick that up in their body. And especially my older son, when he would fall asleep quick to that. Sometimes mommy would too. Okay. Another one, yang. So that masculine active energy. Again, I know when I am out of touch with my well-being, sometimes I'm not either taking action, A, I'm not taking action, or B, I'm not taking inspired action. Both can be a problem. What I have learned about manifestation, it's not just taking action, because we see people that run around in effort and do and think that doing things is going to get them further. Not in the spiritual life. Not when you're dealing like something like these loops that can be occurring for us. That is just going to wear us out. When we create this space in our life, we can now hear what the inspired action is that our higher self or source, the universe, or our guides are bringing to us to do. Inspired action is the key to moving forward. And you're going to know that you have it because it'll come suddenly. Usually you'll have some sort of a physical response where you get excited and happy, or you feel this sense of release, or it clicks. And you can just feel that it's right, and it's going to seem so easy for you to do. You'll think, oh my God, what a great idea. Why didn't I ever think of this before? Or, oh my God, that's so easy. Like, that's going to be so easy for me to do. Like, why don't I just do that? Like, why didn't I think of this before? That's the inspired action that you want to put into your yang energy, moving out, moving forward. And it comes from that space that you create for yourself, and it comes from the spirit realm, whatever that is for you. Again, if you're just feeling like a depressed feeling, low energy, lethargic, any kind of energy that moves outward can help. For something like that, dinner time, something like that would be like a walk, a gentle, nice walk. Go to the park and swing. Yes, adults, I'm talking to you. Go to the park and swing. Take a walk, put YouTube on and have a dance party. Because if you are feeling like lethargic and you just can't get out of bed or whatever, again, use music, use that power of music and harmonics, move your body and raise the frequency, because you might know what you want or need to do, but just not feel that you have the energy to do it. This can help get that vibration up and get you more active in your energy, in your, your etheric body, your astral body, so that then you can go and accomplish stuff. Okay. Last card is Be Fair, number 38. And this is kind of hard to see, I know. It's a lady and she's holding balances, she's holding scales, and it looks like there's a fortune cookie on one and an egg on the other.
Mommy.
And she has an owl on her head. Okay. You guys, can you go somewhere else so I can finish? I don't need all three of us in here right now. So she's got the owl on her head to indicate wisdom, clarity of thought, clarity of thinking, and being fair. I feel like this is bringing forward a spirit of objectivity. Can you be more objective in what you're thinking, in how you're responding, in how you're emotionally reacting? When you breathe and you create that space, can you use that space to be able to not see it so emotional and close up, but to see it a little bit more distanced and slightly more detached so that you can look at it as an outside observer would? Sometimes we become so enmeshed with our problems, our emotions, or our storyline, or just the drama and stress and tension of the scenario that we lose objectivity. We get subjective, we take it personally, we get so reactive, we get so deeply emotional, so passionately emotional, and then we get reactive. And then the pendulum just swings and it just goes back and forth. We've lost control, and now we're just bouncing off the wall like a pinball machine, and there's no ability for us to create intentionally whatever it is that we want to and just come back to being in control. We're just reactive. So to be that proactive player, to be fair, create that space, create some objectivity. You can ask an outsider for some help. You can ask, that's always a really simple thing. But again, if you can create space for yourself to be able to weigh and measure, when you're looking at things and you're being balanced in a fair perspective, you can weigh and measure things. Some of the groups that I go to, they'll say, what if the shoe was on the other foot? If somebody's asking you for something or demanding, or you feel indebted to do something, you can say, well, what's the other party doing? Like in a personal example, I know that I have a relationship where this person's very demanding and very entitled to my asset and resources, to my energetic resources. And I can say, well, does this person offer me back what they want from me? No, they don't. That's being fair and balanced. I have a friend recently that went through an experience with her extended family and identified that she was giving more than they were giving. Is that fair and balanced? No, it's not. So it's okay to just go back and just look at just the hard facts of it and go, what's happening? What flow is the energy taking? Is it always flowing out? Is it always flowing in? Are people being demanding and trying to suck and demand from me? And so sometimes that can be really helpful too, to just weigh and balance. And if you can, again, the owl's on her head, so to me there's a real indication of thinking and logic. Write down in numbers, dollar amounts, time in minutes, hours, days, tasks, and again, different values that are objective. If it takes an hour to mow the lawn and an hour to do the laundry, those seem equal. If it takes 10 minutes to scrub a toilet, but an hour to do the laundry, there's an imbalance there. They're not equal. So sometimes if we can take those things and maybe put them into terms that are more equal and rational, and I don't mean to say that you're not being irrational, but just, into a rational, objective, measurable, quantifiable, left brain sort of a thing, sometimes that can help us provide clarity and perspective for ourselves in these situations, which are very emotional, again, we might find that we've become very reactive or whatnot. So, all right, I would like to try to do a meditation with you guys. Can you go play pizza out front and shut the door for 5 more minutes for Mommy, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So now I would like to do a meditation and just see if we can clear some space, create some good visualizations, some good thought patterns, some good feelings, some good vibrations that you can access as you're moving through your day. If you get stuck in a pattern, maybe you can access them. So in this present moment, I'm going to come back to my body. I'm going to come back to my breathing. And I'm going to connect with my feeling of well-being. I'm going to find it inside of me. You can put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on the top of your head if you like that. You can put some hands on your stomach and your heart. Whatever resonates for you. You can clasp them together. You can open them so that you can release and or receive. Whatever works for you. As I come into my body, I'm going to locate my sense of well-being. I'm going to find that peace, that evenness of breathing. I'm in the middle of something. I'll be out in 5 more minutes.
Pizza.
Yes, Brother's Pizza?
No.
We don't have any real pizza. I will get you some in a minute. Let me finish, please. I'm going to find that well-being in my body, in my mind. And if I just cannot find it, I'm going to breathe to create space. And I will ask to be gifted the awareness of my well-being. I will open up and ask for the knowledge to connect physically, to connect emotionally, and to connect mentally with well-being. To connect with the gift of well-being that comes from Spirit, which is outside of me and greater than me. I'm going to ask to connect with the well-being from Mother Earth, which is greater than me. I'm going to acknowledge that both Spirit and Mother Earth have all of the well-being that I need. They have all of the answers that I need. I'm going to rest just for this moment, just for this time. I'm going to rest in knowing that they have it under control, that they are aware of what's happening, that Mother Earth and Spirit see all and know all. They're providing me inspiration. They're providing me guidance. They're providing me with the sustenance and the prosperity that I need to move forward to live my best life. I'm going to make space to know that there's something more happening now than any problems that I may perceive. I'm going to make space to know that there's a deeper well-being that is active and happening right now, and that holds me and carries me and nurtures me and walks with me. It follows after me and goes before me through my day, everywhere I go. I'm going to know that I am held and supported by Mother Earth and by Spirit in my life, my whole life, every part of it, every moment and every place. Every time my mind wanders, I know that Mother Earth and Spirit are available and sourcing to me everything that I need at every moment. I have an abundance of inspiration. I have an abundance of flowing inspiration towards me. My mind is open to new ideas and clear. I have clarity of thought. I am able to easily see solutions, make themselves available to me. I have the energy and resources to enact those solutions in a way that is easy for me and is fun, in a way that flows. At any time, I can come back to this knowledge, to this knowing that I am a part of well-being. Well-being is in me and within me, coming to me and flowing through me. No matter what transient emotions or thoughts come into my mind, I know that I can come back to my knowing that this is real and permanent and always reliable. I need a few more minutes. I'm not done yet. Right. Not right now. Mommy's doing video. Excuse me, please. Go outside and shut the door. I'm almost done. Right now, I feel this well-being in my mind. I feel clear. In this moment, I feel this well-being in my emotions. My emotions feel calm. I feel pleasantly relaxed, yet still alert. In this moment, I feel well-being in my body. I feel relaxed and at ease. I feel supple. I feel active and energized. I feel ready to go and comfortably at ease in repose. I can connect to these feelings of well-being and ease anytime I choose to. I can control my level of peace and serenity. I know how to activate myself towards action that is fun and engaging and interesting. And I know how to calm myself and soothe myself. I know how to give myself love and nurturance and care. And I choose to engage in loving myself in whatever way I need every moment of the day. I give myself permission to do this. I do not wait for others' permission for me to love myself. I am empowered to love myself even if other people don't seem to like it. I know other people have the ability and the birthright to do this for themselves as well. And I also give myself permission to not do this for other people when I don't have the energy. I am aware that my cup has to be full and flowing over for me to love others, because I cannot pour from an empty cup. And I give myself permission to make sure that my cup is full and overflowing as my primary responsibility and duty every day. I turn my thoughts, I turn my imagination towards good things that feel good and feel easy, that I want, that I like in my life and that feel good to me, that bring me excitement and joy and love. Hearing the bell, we breathe into this present moment. Okay, that's enough. Let me have it, please. Good job. Thank you.
One more.
One more, and we breathe into this present moment with awareness and love and ease. Okay, that's it. Put it down now.
One more.
No, Mommy's done. Put it down.
Yeah.
And we move forward from this place knowing that we can access this sense of well-being at any time that we choose. And we only need to turn our attention towards it and receive it. Okay, so I hope that helps all of my friends that have been struggling lately, and that will bring you some peace and rejuvenation. That will provide you some insights and practical things that you can do to implement more well-being in your life. Please let me know if this helps you or not, and if there's anybody else with other topics that they feel like they would like attention on, that we can do this for other things and other shadow work and healing and manifesting work, let me know. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Thank you.